friends, it's Pat Sloan here. We are going to do London Town. I'm going to try to do the whole block on this video instead of rolling it to next week. That might mean, again, at the end, having to film the ending tomorrow. It just depends. I'm starting at 3:30 in the afternoon here for the video, so we'll just see. We'll see how it goes. Considering last week's, I flipped this around like we talked about yesterday and many of you noted. That has to be fixed first, which eats into the new block time just a little bit. Okay, before we do that, a couple other things. It's pancake day. Pancakes! Now, we had a pancake stack on the Breakfast Club, and I know we shared Breakfast Club recently, but if you didn't have a chance to share your Breakfast Club quilt then, you can do it again. Or if you have pancake fabric with pancakes on it, and you made it into a quilt. Or hey, you just have the fabric. Show the fabric. I want to see it. Pancakes. Do you like pancakes? I'm pretty fond of them. Yeah, when I go out for breakfast, it's not they might be like the every other time I get some pancakes. All right, up on the wall behind me, I have the pears. And the pears are from the fruit salad book by... Okay, is it in here? Where is the fruit salad book? No, it's over here. Hold on. Okay, so I've got the fruit salad book. And I picked this green for the binding, which I'm probably still going to use. I probably am. I put it up here so that I cut those inner borders and outer borders and finish it. I don't need an inner border, right? I don't need an inner border on the bottom because there's already some spacer there. I'm not going to add another one. So I'm just going to do the inner border on 3 sides. So the top, because the leaves come right up to the edge, but on the bottom they don't. So everything is floating already. So I don't need to add anything there. But it is up there so that it is next, sort of next, after the London Town. So hopefully tonight or tomorrow. So tomorrow, though, I do have to go to the eye doctor where they put the drops in and dilate the eyes. And so that means the rest of the afternoon, basically the afternoon will be shot for me because it takes my eyes forever to come back to normal, like forever. And it takes forever for them to make them dilate too. I usually have to have 2 treatments of it. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So anyway, I know that's tomorrow's day and there won't be a lot of anything because it's uncomfortable to have them dilated like that for so many hours. Okay, we also have the October schedule. It's on the calendar, so if you have never downloaded my schedule calendar, you might give it a go. It lets you know what days I have videos, what days are the different project sew-alongs. Also, I put all kinds of fun little holidays on there, some of them are even on days when we don't have a video, which, I might mention them, I might not. It just depends. So there's that, and then the second page. And if you're reading the PDF online, there's clickable links on the second page. So there's the different projects that we're working on and that are coming up. And then things I kind of mentioned, like the pears and stuff like that. And I put some stuff kind of on the ongoing, like that web one. I moved it to like the ongoing section because I'm just not motivated right now to go back to it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do because I enjoyed what I did so far, but I'm not keen on the rest of it as much. It's just not speaking to me right now. So anyway, and I just, there wasn't a whole lot of adjustments, but some things came off and we're adding on let me pop the quilt up. This is the next quilt along that will start with Gratitude and Grace towards the end of the month. And the reason is Fat Quarter Shop is doing kits for this, and the quilt itself, there's a pattern and then a kit, and the Fat Quarter Shop names them differently. And so let me see if I can find it here. So Daisy Patch is what they call the pattern, and Flower Patch is the kit name. That's just how they do it. And I've got a link on this sheet to those, and I will get a project page up. I think there's just a bucket on the projects so that you can click to those. And as soon as the kits are ready, I'll let you know. And then I have at the very end of the month, the last week, to actually start that one. So I'm trying to space things out just a little bit, like we have for Bee Haven. The patterns aren't in yet. The patterns will come in. So Bee Haven will probably start. That's from Rachel Rossi's fabric that I really love. And the one pattern is kind of a string pattern, got a little dimension in it. It'd be really, really fun with her fabrics. And that'll probably be sometime in November, December. And then next, starting probably right after Christmas, we'll start a quilt with Gratitude and Grace. Hopefully you're using my fabric from the from Wendy, my buddy Wendy Shepherd's Autumn Quilting. And there is a project page for this, and I show you, she recolored a couple of them in Gratitude and Grace, so you can see what they look like. Like she recolored this one in Gratitude and Grace, and she did, I'm going to be doing, where is it? I'm going to be doing this one right here. And she also has a single pattern leaf that if you are interested in that, you could do it. But like there's all kinds of things in this book. So you could, if you wanted, you could do any of the quilts in the book. Let's see. Here's one that's got pumpkins. Look at that. Look at that. You could do that one. So I'm kind of being flexible. I am going to do the one I want to do in Gratitude and Grace. I'll be doing this one because it just fits with my other quilts that I have with the white, with my other Halloween quilts now. That's kind of the color scheme. She's got one with houses. Look how cute that is. And the pumpkins and the leaves. So there's like so many options that if you prefer to do something else from the book, that's totally, totally cool. Let's see, this one called Pumpkin Pancakes. Speaking of pancakes, that's called Pumpkin Pancakes. And I believe she recolored that one for me in Gratitude and Grace, so you can see it on that project page. It is just, and it's a great value, this book. This is Italian cream cake. Look at that. That's really pretty. Really pretty. So options. Lots and lots of options. There's just pumpkin pie. Look at this. This is like a 2-color quilt. If you've ever wanted to do a 2-color quilt, that might be a fun option for you. I missed one. Here's the pecan pie. Do you get it? There's pie names. They're all pie names. That one is super cute. I don't know. That's so cute. They're just, did I get them all? Yeah, that was all of them. And then I have to show you what Wendy just sent me. Look at these. They're magnets. Gumi magnets. She is the best. She is the best. Remember, in November, we are going to be at the Virginia Quilt Museum for the day, for the Harrisonburg exhibit. So if you can meet us there, we would love to see you. So go check that out. Okie doke. So we're going to fix this. So what am I going to do? Let me just take the camera down here and let's see. The royal we, I need to rotate this unit here. This unit here needs to be flipped so that light is at the bottom. And, you know, the wonderful part is I've already put, you know, this little border around because that's part of the block. So what I'm going to do is unsew to about here, unsew to about here to sort of free up that. Unsew this, unsew that. Well, that'd already be unsewn. That'd already be unsewn. So unsew this one and then unsew that one. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 4 sections. And when I do that, it's super easy. I'm just going to do a bunch of little clips like this. I just go along on the threads and pop them every so often. I find that over time, after having ripped out or unsewn zillions and zillions of seams, that often this one works best for me. Of course, like I back stitch there to lock it down. That was fun. Okay, so then what I can do is just this. It just pulls really easy when I'm just popping those few stitches. It just seems to be a whole lot faster for me. Now, if you're someone who stitches with super tiny stitches, and I know a few of you do that, you take your stitch length way down small, then you might find that this is more difficult because you can't easily get your seam ripper under there. So let me just pull it in real quick here in case you really don't understand what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking the seam ripper under the stitch and popping it. And now all I have to do, well, I didn't pop that end one. It's always good to pop the end one to get it going. So now I just pull it. And I've gone past, I started past. And then, you know, the fun of doing in here, when sometimes they're not quite as easy to see because your fabric prints or something like that, but it really doesn't take that long. So if you are someone who this destroys you when you have to unsew something, you might just want to reassess, because if you're not unsewing something every so often, you're not really making. That's my opinion. You aren't really making anything, because that is part of it. It is really, really part of it. You can't be a maker and have perfection with everything you do. Sometimes it's perfect. That's really awesome. But the fact that many people, I'm not, I mean, it's pretty rare for me, but many people want to have perfection. They want to do it right the first time. They don't want to ever make a mistake. And yeah, this is a time suck. This eats up about, 10 minutes of my time to fix it. But that's only 10 minutes. And there we go. It's released. And then now my biggest deal is do not put it back in the same direction. I will go press these open. I'll press these open, get all the threads off of them. Then I will rotate it like that, so that it is rotated. And I'll have to tell you right now, this guy is upside down in my brain because the flower is upside down, which means I am probably going to unstitch this strip as well and rotate it, because it is going to bug me. These are okay, these two okay, but that's where I went wrong somehow when I got everything going. So that guy has to come off and get flipped, because it will bother me. See here, you can see the flowers face up and that flower's face down. All right, let me fix this. Since I'm only taking it out partially, when I start sewing again, I start back a bit from, this is where I unpicked it, to right here. And I start sewing back behind that to attach the piece again. And then I go kind of in front, so that the unstitched pieces are in the seam allowance side. I go in the front of it, and then here's the whole seam down here. So the unstitched pieces, I don't tie that off or anything. I find that this just works fine for me. And about 15 minutes later, it is fixed. So Westminster Abbey is done. It is finished. All right, let's see. What do we have this week? It's another house. So I am going to go in the order of the book's patterns. Nicole laid it out in a certain way to build the blocks. The blocks are kind of interconnected, so we're going to have some fun putting it together, but they're not sewn in kind of an order. The blocks are not sewn in an order where you can start putting them together for a little while. And I think I'm okay with that, because it's just going to be a bit easier to go by the book order, and be sure I don't miss anything. I mean, I know I'd figure it out at the end, but anyway, we'll just go in the book order. So Tower of London is next. And because I used a lot of blue on the first one, I do think I want to get a little bit of red going in this one. Now my color scheme will be a bit more red, white, and blue than hers. Well, you can see on the website a bigger picture, but I think I want to get a bit more red, white, and blue in my buildings. You can see like the Liberty of London store has the red, white, and blue. I think I want more of mine to kind of follow that And so that's the theme I'm going to go for. So I'm just going to pull my fabric over here because I'm too tired to pull all this camera work to the back table right now, just to pull it around here again. So hold on, let me get it. I pulled some of the fabric, and we're going to take a look at some options now. If you remember, when I was going through this the other day, let me just turn this off for the light. It's a little better. Okay, so the other day I'd pulled this gray thinking it would work in here. And so even though I said, like, you know, I want to have a bit more red, I think I'm still going to keep this gray for here. And if you will note, it is directional, even though like the flowers are up this way. So I'm just going to lay it horizontal just while I'm auditioning. Now I got a bunch of reds the other day and threw in there that I think just have a same vibe as kind of the Liberty of London fabrics. This is one from quite a few years ago from Amy Sinibaldi. So I was thinking the towers could be red. So these are like the big chunks. Now down here there's a gingham, and I thought, oh well, I pulled a gold. Would I add some gold in on this one? I also then in the basket found this pink, and I'm like thinking, oh, the pink, red and the pink. Now for the red, I was wondering if maybe there might be another option, because, you know, I had pulled quite a few. And so this one is actually quite deep a red, and I think it's going to look good in some places, but I'm thinking it is just too dark for here. Then it reads very solid. I also had pulled this one, which has like little pattern on it. It also reads much more solid than I wanted to. I like that these have like you can see the pattern, which is why I like this one. But I thought, okay, what else do I have? I had pulled out this flower, which is kind of now in between. It's darker, but it's darker like than this one, but it still has some pattern. Then I saw this one, which is also really cool. It's got like little hoops on it. So that one looks really good, but I think it still reads a little too solid. Then out of the Tilda fabric, there is this gorgeous floral, which, wow. But there's a lot of pattern side by side. There's a lot of pattern. I'm not sure I want that much pattern side by side, even though if I did that, I was thinking, oh, I could use, instead of this pink, I could use a gold. Now this is one of the Liberty of London pieces, but will not be enough of it. But I thought, oh, now that, and then if I did these two, maybe I'd change out that to something that was more tonal, you know, maybe this instead of that gray. Maybe the building where it's gray will be pink. But I'd have to find, if I want to use this yellow, I maybe could use it as the turrets, because there's enough of it for the turrets. But then I'd have to find something for down here. I also found these for the windows. So windows, which is perfect, that little dot. So I still don't have, if I use the gingham here, I don't have anything down here. Let me just grab something. So this blue is kind of interesting for down there. And I know for many of you, all these patterns are just, they make you wild. This isn't something you can do, but this is actually how I love to work. If I don't care about anything, it's just exuberance beyond. I love it. Okay, so that turret looks better. I'm actually thinking of going back to this and here for that, and remove this and put, which one? Maybe put that one back and use this as the, see, like this would be a little strip here, and use that up there. So I've got the red and the blue. I also could maybe like this one, which is a little darker red, but it still has enough pattern in it to, and then, oh, I could go back. I could go to, no, I don't want to add another color. See, like the gold is adding another color. This is gray, navy, red, pink, which are together. This is like adding like a whole nother color in here that I think that's not a good plan for right now. So I think I'm going to go back to this one, but maybe not that. It's still feeling too strong. Either this one, or maybe I will go to this one here, which reads a little bit more solid, but you know, then it'll have one window here at the top, so it doesn't give me that florally feel. I'm going to look at my reds a bit more. Okay, so I found this one, which is a tilde. That is so cool. Now there is some gold in that, but I still think, that doesn't work. And this one I was using here, this didn't work. But I thought, what if this is blue that I had pulled out, but in here is aqua in those flowers. But I thought, what if I did navy, a navy turret? Navy turret is so cool. Okay. I love that, but I still feel like maybe the scale's not right. So I'm going to go with this one, and I'm going to go with the navy turret in the stripe. I'm going to leave this one over leave it in the basket like this. Okay, I am going to cut this up and show it to you laid on the design board. First, let me show you the fabric pool, how it looks together. Look at this. Look how gorgeous that looks together. So, you know, when you pull it all like that, it looks so fantastic, doesn't it? That combination looks so good. All right, before I show you the block, let's take a look at a few of your block one, the Abbey. A couple of you got your photos out there for me to grab, so here they are. This is by our ambassador, Carrie. Look at that fussy cut door. I love that flower in there. It is so darling. We got Jan's here in the beautiful like stone grays with this gorgeous little red door, and it looks like a little kitty in there or something, some sort of little critter. Kendall's block is amazing. I love the house in the door, the tree, the tree with the dots in the door. I'm focused on the doors. Can you tell? Our ambassador, Melissa, did this beautiful brown. Oh my goodness. And she has an amazing door as well. It looks like lattice or like a grate. Isn't that cool? And Sandy's, oh, beautiful, beautiful. And she has this gorgeous door for hers as well. I'm like focused on the doors today. Thank you, everybody. I have it cut, but it is too late now today for me to get it sewn and then come back on and do a finishing video. It's just too late. But let me show you what I have for the Tower of London. Once everything starts to get cut, it just pulls in so beautifully. I'm really happy I went with this one. The stripe is going to be spectacular. And on Monday's video, because this is a really fun technique for the flags, do you see the flags here? Those are ribbons. And so I want to dig in my ribbons with you and find the ribbon, because they're basically top stitch a ribbon down onto here. And so I would, because there's two pieces, so you're going to top stitch it on the one side and then just sew it in the seam. So we'll do that on Monday's video and finish this, and I'll show you the finished block then. Okay, wow, it is so cool. I put the two little squares. I had to cough. So I put the two little squares like just diagonal so that you could kind of get a feel for them being windows. You know, there's sewing flips on there, but I had them on here like originally, but then you kind of lost the effect of the window. I wanted you to kind of see the pointy part there, but this is so cool. This is the Liberty of London fabric. In this particular block, that will be the only one that's Liberty of London. Although if you feel art gallery fabrics, they're a softer. Liberty is even softer than those. So you kind of get a feel if you've never felt Liberty fabric, Liberty of London Tanalons, the Tanalons before. They're lighter than even the Art Gallery ones, which have that different base cloth than most quilting cottons do. Okay, so today we fixed another block. We fixed another block, and we got all of this cut, which I'm super excited. Super. So, okay, so if you tell me in the comments here at YouTube, what is the last block you had to do some unsewing on? I want to know. All right, I love you. Mwah. Thanks for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.